Okay, now we're recording. Okay. Good evening. This is the meeting of the Villa Park Video Production Commission. And today is July 9th, and it is 6:04 PM, and I'm going to call the roll. Commissioner Tom King.
Present.
Commissioner Mahmoud Arif Ghazi.
Present.
Okay. Commissioner Vince Davis.
Present.
And we have two visitors with us this evening, and we have Lily Morgan, who is you're actually an intern. Is that right?
Yes,
Correct.
I'm
She's
the
an intern,
communications intern.
and she's serving in Riley Pillar's place. Riley is on maternity leave until September. Okay, and then we're fortunate to have with us a guest, Al Stash, who is a former member of the Video Production Commission and the Cable TV Commission.
Thank you for inviting me.
Yeah, my pleasure. Okay, so we've established a quorum, and we're gonna move on to public comments on agenda items. There are no members of the public present, with the exception of Al and Lily. Okay, I'm gonna move on to our consent agenda. Approval of minutes of the May 14th, 2025 meeting. And if folks need a minute to review those, you might wanna see if there's any corrections. It's two-sided,
Yeah. I'll motion to approve. I looked through them already.
so let me get a copy. I forgot, you go by a brief or?
Yeah, Reef,
A read, sorry, I apologize.
No, no problem.
Okay. Commissioner Davis, did you make a motion?
Yeah, I'll motion to approve.
Motion to approve, okay. And I'm gonna wait a few minutes for people to go through it. If you see any typos, let me know.
I second.
Okay, seconded by Commissioner Tom King. Is there any discussion? Seeing none, all those in favor of approving the May 14th, 2025 minutes, please signify by saying aye. Aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? Okay, minutes are approved. All right, I'm gonna move on to the business section of our meeting. And I invited Al Stash here because he is a wealth of knowledge about video production, and I would say I would consider you a professional. And he has a lot of experience with the history of this commission, and I thought he's kind enough to come this evening, and I thought maybe you could just tell us a little bit about your thoughts about the commission, some of the things the commission's done, and maybe some of the things that we could do in the future.
Okay. First of all, I've been a commissioner in two different sets of years. And prior to that, because I've lived in the village since 1978, the original cable systems that came in were under the guise of Metrovision. And they had an office next to Ace Hardware on Villa and St. Charles Road. And that's where they had their production system that sent the information out on cable. And in fact, if you look down the alley that that goes next to the rec center and that complex of properties, buildings in the shopping mall there, they still have quite a bit of equipment on the utility poles that was used to connect all this stuff up to the cable system. And at that time, the Metrovision people managed everything like what is being managed here by, again, the guy's name?
Suncom.
Suncom.
Glenn Liljeburg.
Right. After that, when Comcast came in here and had a production facility here, and they did it under different iterations of contracts with the village, they utilized a commission to put cameras in the boardroom, and commissioners would operate those cameras to record and broadcast the trustee meetings. There were people who were originally in that group who served in that capacity for a quarter century. That's how long that went on. But they transitioned away from doing that camera work into doing different things beyond the camera work with portable equipment, cameras, et cetera, that were either in the studio or used out in the field per se. Okay, and Comcast then started using their studio in Elmhurst to allow for PEG programs to be recorded in their very nice studio on Industrial Drive in Elmhurst. And PEG stands for Public Education and Government. And they used channel 19, where Comcast channel 6 is what broadcasts the information coming from the board meetings and others that Suncast puts up. So in those different segments, the nature of the Cable Commission shifted considerably from being camera operators to kind of like independent producers, okay? And there was always under ordinance and always under the guidance of staff and the village manager's position and liaison to the board, as it always has been. We, for a while, working with people like these gentlemen have passed, Dennis Keating, who was a former trustee, and Sid Berg, who was another former trustee, had been doing a lot of different programming. They, for example, had a program where they sat on the dais and interviewed the village president on a weekly or bi-weekly basis. They also went out and did field reports from Summerfest, which happened just a couple weeks ago, and for a while, Oktoberfest was at Lions Park next to the rec center, and that was a 2 or 3 day event, and they would go over there, and I, at that time, would join them and go over there and do different segments about the carnival acts that were there, or the bands that were playing there, or the people. And they would interview people and do reports of public information about those events. Same thing with Summerfest. They would go to record some of the music and also other things. In addition, it was very popular to do the holiday concerts from the schools in town. Not only District 45, which is Jackson, traditionally they would all group to Jackson, I think, if your son was wherever in band. They would do their concerts at Jackson, and then the high school would have a pretty extensive concert during the holidays. I think it was on 2 separate days. And we would record that and play that almost like some of the TNT movies that you see that just are looped. We would loop those for 2 weeks. And some people would keep watching it. I don't know why, but they did. Because there were kids involved. There were family members that they were watching. So they had a built-in audience that was very interested in seeing that. Then we started to transition. Certainly, I was in the group for a while for that, and Bob was too. Transitioned to doing more and more, not only on cable, but on YouTube. And there is a YouTube site that at the time was called TV VP Style. TV VP Style. They had a logo and everything, and that was the YouTube site for lots of different types of videos. We did more recently some videos of something that Tom was very involved with, which is some of the pool events in town. We did, in one case, we did a Shakespearean play from the gazebo on the Illinois Prairie Path. A local production company did that with lots of kids involved and stuff, and they continue to this day. But they did that, and we recorded that. Bob has done some interviews, and I have done interviews in the room when we had a space built for that. And there we did lots of different things, including during election time, we did interviews of the candidates for trustee positions there. And we also did in the boardroom recordings of the Villa Park Junior Women's Club. I think it's called Villa Park Women's Club now, when they did their candidate forums. And as you know, recently, that was changed to be something that was off your list. And I did that as an independent company for 2 different sites, one at the Islamic Foundation in Villa Park off of High Ridge, and another at Divine, the wine facility next to Demito's on Kenilworth and Villa. And those were then put on independent sites, not on the village site. But the village YouTube page was now has been called Villa Park Now, and at the time I was managing it, but it was multi-managed by the village staff and me, so it had to be archived because it was being done under the auspices of the Villa Park Video Production Commission. So they needed to have it for FOID reasons, whatever, okay? And since then, I think that has been terminated as far as the village staff. Am I
Yeah.
correct?
Yeah,
Okay.
no, we don't have any involvement with it.
Okay, okay. What is there is all of that historic video, and the last time anything was added was about 2 years ago, okay? There are 5,000 followers on that site. There's 760 videos, 40, 60 videos. The most popular video was Mike Tyson's visit to, you love this, Cannabis on Roosevelt Road, the marijuana dispensary. He was a provider of product to that company. He came there and did a signing event. That has 2 million of the 2 million hits of, or views of 2.5 million of everything else. Okay, so that was the big one. But other things were things from the Summerfest and some fire department things that I've added to it, and things like that. So it was a wide area of things. We also did some church related things that Dennis Keating liked to do. Lots of things with the VFW parade, et cetera, et cetera. So if something was happening in Villa Park, chances are we were trying to record it. And I had a lot of time because I've been retired since 2001, so I have daytime hours. And we would do things like ribbon cuttings and things like that. So that's kind of the history of what I know about the commission. I left, I think, 3 years ago after a 10-year stint, the second one, second 10 years. And so I'm not the longest serving. I think some of the people, Sid Berg and others, were there for at least 3 decades doing that stuff. And some of it, that was the thing that they did as retirees. That's what they were really involved with. Okay. We also did newscasts where the person that was sitting in Lily's chair was in that room when they had a green screen against the wall and acted like a news broadcast reporter talking about only Villa Park news. And I loved it. I instituted it, and the person that was the public information officer and some interns that she had working with her were the reporters. And they read from a teleprompter. They were in front of a green screen, and then that green screen was changed to what looked like an ABC, NBC studio in Chicago. They loved doing it. And then it kind of ended, and recently I've restarted it on my own, in my own company, doing that, in hopes that it would be picked up again. And I've talked to people in her position to see if they wanted to be involved. The village manager, Mr. Rivas, the chief of police, Mr. Kubish, have been viewing it and complimenting it. So it's something that they like, okay? Because it's all Villa Park. And it's about things like construction projects, new businesses that are coming into town, changes in the village, literally zero politics.
Literally zero
Intentionally.
what?
Zero politics. Intentionally, none. The only thing that was ever included from the village board was swearing in ceremonies for the firefighters that come in and get sworn in and get their badge. Okay? So that's basically what I've been doing. And I had a meeting earlier with Vince because of his involvement with the botanical group here in town, the Villa Park Botanical Club.
Horticultural.
Horticultural. Yeah, horticultural club. Yeah.
Botanical horticultural, thank you.
It's close.
About incorporating it with what I'm doing with the news and a new Villa Park magazine. So hopefully that'll, I know that'll happen.
Oh, yeah.
That'll happen. But there's opportunity, and I'm fully aware of all of the issues related to the status of commissions. I understand. I don't know anything about what's going to happen, and I'm staying 10 yards away from it. I am not involved in that. I was asked to be a part of a new commission, I said yes. And the reason why is I never say no, to be honest with you.
I'm sorry, I didn't hear what you
I
said.
never say no,
Okay.
almost never. Unless it's something I really don't want to do. But it was an opportunity, I said, hey, I'll do it. So I hope that you guys continue. That's my sincere wish. I am embedded in this organization, and I have a history with it, and I wish that it would continue. If it doesn't, I'm very sad, but that's beyond my control and most of ours. Okay? So would you want to talk about potential other things?
Yeah, so what do you, I mean, so we're kind of getting back up to speed. We have editing software.
Yeah.
We've had a little training from Glenn.
Yeah.
And we want to get started. We want to overcome the inertia and start doing some projects. And maybe some ideas from you might be helpful. And
Yeah.
I know you and I talked that short videos are probably more,
Yeah. Well,
people are more apt to.
the whole
watch.
idea of scrolling, I mean, everybody here's got a phone, and we know how to scroll better than anything, okay? So if something doesn't interest you in about 5 seconds, it's gone. And a lot of times when you look at television programs, they're 30 minutes, counting commercials. They're actually somewhere around 23 or 24 minutes of actual program. And that really equates to, if you use 24, 3 segments. They have one segment, then they go to commercial, then they have another segment, they go to commercial, they have another segment, and then they have commercial out. So it's about 8 minutes, is about as long as anybody really wants to watch anything. But the whole mindset of television for us growing up was every program was 30 minutes or an hour. Okay? So we would be doing 30 minutes. I was doing an hour talk show with Dennis and Sid Berg. Oh my God. Keeping them to behave was a challenge by itself, and then having anybody watch it was different. So yes, short and sweet is much better, much better. In fact, probably 2 minutes is a high maximum, because when you look at the data of, what's the watch time on YouTube videos, 2 minutes is a long time.
That's considered very good.
It's really good.
It's
Yeah.
what?
So
2
it's
minutes is a
considered very
long
good,
time.
it'd be good.
Long time. So short and sweet and to the point, and interesting images. Because at first people may not be listening to the sound, and then they turn it on if they think it's good. I know I've heard, did we talk about a list that
Yeah,
do's
that's,
and don'ts?
yeah.
So I can't address that. I don't know what that list includes or what. I kind of worked without it before, so that's kind of,
Yeah, I think we're, as I said, before we got, this is Commissioner Wagner speaking, we should do that for the recording.
yeah,
We're still functioning under that old, the policies and procedures.
yeah,
I guess, so our recommendations have not been gone before the village board yet, so we have to kind of go with what
Yeah.
staff says
Yeah.
policies and procedures are,
Yeah.
and that.
Well, you know, and I probably said it the wrong way, I didn't work under any guidelines, but yeah, you do. I mean, we answer to the board, we answer to the village. We all of us. And so if you do something that's out of whack, they can tell you no. But, you know, if you're doing something that is within the scope of appropriate programming, I like things like community interest development projects that are going on, events. It's kind of hard with Brewfest because that's alcohol related and no one
Yeah.
wants to have their video of drinking beer,
Right.
The beer stein holder.
especially if they shouldn't be.
Yeah.
Well, we could go and, you know, like film the booths, right?
Yeah,
And talk to the different
the vendors.
brewers, the
Yeah.
vendors.
Yeah.
Or whoever puts on the event, like whoever, that might be an interesting one, whoever was in charge of organizing the event,
Yeah,
talking about how many people are there, that type of stuff.
yeah. I mean, most people are willing, to, even at those events, to be on camera,
Yeah,
but it's just a touchy subject because of the alcohol.
sure.
Another good event you guys might want to cover is National Night Out
Very good,
that the
yes.
police department and fire department are doing on August 5th because they have a ton of community businesses coming together. It's all free. They're donating like pizzas, hot dogs, all kinds of stuff, and they're trying to make it like really big this year. So I think
Yeah.
that'd be a good one to go get interviews from people.
Yeah,
Yeah,
and they just had an ice cream social over at the museum.
Yeah.
yeah, that was last week, right?
Yeah, I was over there and they had train sets in the museum, ice cream, they had a DJ. But just without special events at the museum, I'm there with, do you know Frank Carlson?
Absolutely.
Okay, Frank Carlson's a great guy. He's a real train fanatic. He actually helped recreate a museum for Union Pacific out in Union, Illinois, which is the Illinois Railroad Museum. And he's built this marvelous facility. And he showed me in one of the glass cases a picture of Lindbergh,
Wow.
Charles Lindbergh.
Charles Lindbergh, with an airplane, and a storyline there that says that Charles Lindbergh had to make a refueling landing here in Villa Park on Madison and another intersection in
That would
Villa
make a
Park.
cool video.
It's a great film. I took the
Yeah.
picture, I go, wow.
And what's that from? What year is it from? 1930s.
I don't remember, it's like 1930s, it was in the 30s.
Oh, 1930, okay.
Yeah, and it was Charles Lindbergh, they have a picture of him standing next to his airplane, and he had to stay here for 3 days for some reason. I don't know if it was parts or fuel or whatever, because he had to land in a field off of Madison in Villa Park. And Frank's showing me this, I'm going, you could talk for 5 minutes about this. You
Yeah.
know, who remembers that? Was anybody here that, you know, was part of it? Because I guess people were going up and getting autographs and trying to take pictures with Charles Lindbergh in Villa Park. I mean, wow, that's even way better than Mike Tyson.
Right.
Or
Way
Jim
better.
McCarthy.
That's right. That's right. So things like that. I mean, they're human interest stories for the village. They're not controversial. They're not offensive. They're not. They're all G related.
Yeah.
The sporting events is huge. I mean, just going and doing a report about a football game, you know, watching it and then do a sideline report was huge. We did that for a while. All the other sports, swimming. How many people are involved with the Mariners swim teams? How many kids?
Oh, I don't know, 50, 60?
50, 60 times 4 family members are interested in that.
Mhm.
Okay, you get 240 hits on a video, that's a lot in Villa Park.
And
So-
then the opposing team would watch it too, right?
Absolutely, absolutely, yeah, I know when I went to different away meets, they were very interested in it, in what they could, where they could find the video and how they could watch it. And if it's on YouTube, of course, everybody can. So, the concerts at Willowbrook, okay, here's the hard part. With plays and concerts, if it's music, a lot of times the bands are playing cover music, which is copyrighted, okay? So YouTube is very strict about that.
Yeah, they'll strike you.
They strike you. And sometimes it's polite, it's, you you're not gonna get any credit for this video, somebody else is gonna get credit for it, which we never got credit for, but they tell you that.
Sure.
And I'm talking about monetizing. We never monetized any of the videos. Period. And so they will either say it can't be viewed or whatever. There's different variations of that.
What about Vimeo?
Pardon?
What about Vimeo?
They don't care.
Okay.
But then nobody uses Vimeo.
Yeah.
So that's the trade-off.
Also, also it plays.
Said,
I said nobody really uses Vimeo. That's the
Yeah,
trade-off.
but you could
But
put
you
a
could-
link somewhere. And
Yeah,
See,
you
I'm
can
doing
do
the
that.
news on Vimeo
Yeah.
because I can then use the link.
Sure.
And if I'm recording the concerts,
That's like if you're posting on a page, yeah, you could probably just do that.
right, right.
Yeah, just take the Vimeo link and put it on a Facebook page or something
Yeah.
like that. Yeah.
Like, yeah, you're just not gonna have people going to Vimeo for like directly. Whereas like YouTube, you might show up in like a suggested thing. I guess is what my angle would be.
Yeah, yeah. So you got to be aware that if you put something on YouTube and it's a cover song, I was following the Villa Park Police Department. Actually, now Sergeant Ruby, before he was sergeant, and Sergeant I'll think of his name in a second, at Target while they were shopping for needy families in Villa Park. And Officer Ruby had in his pocket his phone playing Christmas music. And I was videotaping them because they were funny as hell. And I posted that video and YouTube flagged it because the music that was coming from his pocket was copyrighted Christmas music.
Yeah.
And the same reaction I had. It's like, are you kidding me?
Could
So,
you even make out the song if
so
it's in
there's
his
somebody,
pocket?
there's somebody actually,
it's automated.
it's
AI.
automated, okay.
You can argue it a lot of the time.
I have several times.
Yeah,
Yeah.
but it's a pain. It's best to avoid, but when you can, right?
So there are plenty of ways, especially with AI now, to have music that is not governed by copyright.
Sure.
Create music to cover a song in the background for videos that you do. But if it's a song that was created by a performer, it's usually copyrighted and will get you in issues.
You want to get around it all? Use Instagram Reels, and they don't care either.
Yeah, yeah.
Facebook Reels are the same way. Like so, and you can live stream on Instagram as well. But then you're getting into
For Facebook, I have that stuff taken down for
Really?
copyright music. Yeah.
Yeah.
I feel like Instagram
Now-
I create reels for it all the time. They haven't had issues.
Now, there is an opportunity, your other seat member was saying that she was looking for content for the cable channel. And I'm not saying cable is dead, although it's fewer viewers and it's always time sensitive. You can only watch it at a certain time. There is an opportunity to produce those videos too and get it to Suncom and have them put it up there. I used to do it for them before they were here. We'd get a video, bam, I could put it up within an hour, less than. But the public information officer would like to have more programming because there you have a lot of PSAs and federal government video that fills in the gaps between board meetings and other commission meetings that are broadcast on the channel. And it's kind of in a loop. So you kind of lose interest from audiences. So that's why we kind of started to shift to YouTube. That's where people will go to see stuff more. Not only, more.
Well,
So-
I appreciate your perspective and your
Yeah.
thoughts on what we could, there's an event I went to today, was the ribbon cutting for Prairie Food
I
Co-op.
wanted to go there.
It was fabulous.
Is it open now? It's open now then.
Soft
Today
Soft
was the
opening.
first day that it was open. This is their soft opening.
Okay.
But it got, a camera taken over there with a conversation with the gentleman and his wife that started the whole project
Jerry
13 years
Nash
ago.
and I can't remember his.
Yeah, Mr. Nash,
The Nash.
and a walk around, what do you have here? Great stuff.
Yeah, they would love that because they're still looking for owners, members. I mean, you can shop there. You don't have to be an owner,
Yeah,
but you get a discount if you're an owner.
Yeah, if you're the,
And it's a nice space, it's very nice.
yeah, I'm gonna go see it. I really just, and there's a brand new grocery store coming in Villa Oak Shopping Center next to Burlington.
Oh, really?
Where?
Amazon Fresh.
Yeah, I heard
Oh,
that.
really? Amazon.
Where's it coming in?
Amazon Fresh,
Next to where?
next to Burlington. It used to be Burlington Coat Factory.
Oh, I didn't know that.
That's that
I-
space
I heard
that's
about that.
underdeveloped.
But
Yeah.
that's official?
Official, yeah,
Really? Okay.
yeah. So I went to the one in,
The one
on
in
63rd Street, 63rd and Cass.
Naperville? Okay.
In Westmont.
Westmont, thank you. And I went around and used my phone to take video of what was happening. It's amazing.
Yeah, you don't even have to go to a checkout counter. You
It's got a
just-
smart
yeah, you-
shopping cart,
Right, it's got a smart shopping cart, and all you gotta do is just go out, and it charges your credit card. Or,
like a thief.
Is it
Yeah.
actually working now though, or like they discontinued that because they said it was automated, but it was a bunch
Working.
of people in India that were watching and then clicking, and then it was causing issues, so they took it.
Bogus, bogus.
Yeah.
I've used it 3 times in the last 2 weeks.
Yeah.
And the cart has a screen,
Yeah.
okay, and then 2 scanners up front.
Oh, so
So
they-
you scan the UPC code, then put it in the cart.
Oh, so that's how they worked through it before. Yeah, before you didn't even have to do that. Before you could just walk through and you
Different shops.
Oh,
They've got
yeah.
one in the train station that's the Amazon Go,
Amazon Go. Got it.
where you
yeah.
just go through and pick stuff up and walk away.
That was the one with the cameras and stuff.
Yes.
This one, you actually scan your own
Oh, okay,
product.
got it.
And the base of the cart is a scale. So they actually have produce
Got it.
unpackaged. And you can, put in the 4-digit code for produce and then set it in the cart. And it will weigh it for you, then produce on the screen the cost and the weight.
Interesting.
Wow.
That's
Really
pretty
cool. And like a thief, you just
You
card out because you've already signed in with a card and all
Yeah,
that
your
stuff.
card, they'll charge it. Yeah.
There's gotta be some expensive grocery carts.
Yeah, but I can tell you the prices were Aldi prices.
Yeah, I know, I shop on Amazon, and it's Aldi prices, and it's good stuff.
Well, that's exciting.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, brand new. Okay, so,
But yeah, so we're getting that in Villa Park, I didn't know that was official, that's awesome.
yeah,
Cool.
I talked to a guy. I go up to the guy that's doing something at the door. I said, "What's coming in here?" He says, "Aldi Fresh."
Amazon Fresh.
Amazon Fresh? Aldi Fresh. Amazon Fresh? I said, "Really?" He goes, "Yeah." And I looked at the storefront. It's exactly the same as the one in Westmont.
Huh.
The lighting and the windows and everything else.
That's
Wow.
But there's no floor in there right now. It's all gravel. So I don't know when.
Wow.
Okay,
Very cool.
I'm sorry,
Well,
taking up
thank
your
you so much for coming,
my pleasure.
and, yeah.
Good luck to you all.
We appreciate your past service, and hopefully we'll be around and we'll be doing some interesting things. So-
Well, no matter what, I'm gonna be doing some certain things, and if you wanna join me, you're welcome.
And I did see a recording of the 4th of July parade.
Yeah,
It was called Stars and Stripes or something. I mean, I looked for something that identified it as your production, but it said
Yeah.
something like Stars and Stripes, or
Yeah.
it was just it was a stationary. I don't know where the camera was. It was just one camera angle. There was
Yeah.
no commentary. There were no graphics at all.
I'm in deep trouble with the VFW, because I made a huge mistake.
Oh, okay.
And
But somehow, who did that recording?
I don't know.
Okay.
The recording that I have is all of the video, but I forgot, I brought the wrong case. They are almost identical views of a case with cables that I needed to hook up the microphones into my system. And they ran out of time before I could correct that problem. So I just recorded it and did not get the commentary. They used a public address system,
Oh,
but they
I
did
see.
not hook up into the
there was a
video
review.
side.
There was at the reviewing stand.
Right.
Okay.
I was right next to him.
What's that?
I was right next to him, and they had my PA system to talk to the people on Park
Yeah, this
Boulevard.
recording looks like it's on Central, where where they turned down Harvard. They were turning down Harvard, right?
Oh, yeah,
Yeah,
but I
that's-
was by Ardmore.
Yeah, whoever recorded it was there.
That's great. I'm glad somebody
Yeah,
got
it's
it.
45. It's a 45-minute long video.
But I have the same kind of video,
Right.
but the commentary of the VFW commander, JB, and his partner, I don't have.
You don't have it.
So I offered to bring the video to the VFW and set them up with a screen and let them talk as if they were at the parade again.
Oh, that's interesting.
And I got crickets.
Crickets. Okay.
So they're very angry with me, I'm sure.
Nobody can be angry at
You know, I can go home and get that, I don't need to.
Well, if it's just interviewing somebody, you could actually just do that at another time, right?
Yeah.
I mean, that'd be the.
I
compromise.
could voice over it.
Yeah, or you could just make an appointment with the person and go and interview them, right?
Yeah. I'm trying.
Well, thank you all so much, I appreciate it.
Thank you. Have a good evening. We didn't meet.
No, nice to meet you, Arif.
Nice to meet you.
And we have, failed to mention that we have another young lady who's on the commission, but she's out of town. Parazad is out of town, so she has an excused absence.
Oh, okay.
But she's new. She's the newest commissioner. And
I-
she's a College of DuPage student.
Oh, nice. I would make one other recommendation if I can while I leave. And that is, you talked about editing. Editing is the pain and suffering of doing anything in video. You know how to edit. I know you know how to edit. I'm sure you know how to edit.
I know, little, very little.
You don't want to, I know you're shaking your head. But I spend most of my day editing. And it's not the fun part. So if one of you likes editing, others can do the fun parts, and that will keep you all more active. That's just my opinion.
Yeah, let's just divide the work. right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, don't all have to say, if I'm doing a video, I have to edit it. If you have someone that's proficient in it, it's much better to do it that way. Okay?
Yeah.
All right.
Thank you, I appreciate it.
All right.
Nice seeing you.
Thank
Nice
you.
to see you. I can go out any door?
Yeah.
Go out alarm?
Yeah.
I would honestly just recommend going back down the elevator.
Okay, because I went out that one time as a joke.
Yeah, I wouldn't.
Cops did show up.
Yeah, I imagine.
Ooh, yeah, you don't know what that.
No. Okay, I thought it was interesting for y'all to come, just give us a perspective of what's happened in the past. I did put on the agenda, and I'm gonna move on to item 5B, update on status of video production room construction. So Brian, some of you may know Brian Roche with Parks and Rec. So Brian, I sent an email to Manager Rivas and Brian Sawyer, but they're on vacation. And then I sent it to Mike Guerra and Mark McLaughlin, thinking they might have answers. And they forwarded it to Brian Roche. And this is what Brian Roche had to say about the video production room. He said, "We have been working with an architect to design the upper level spaces at Village Hall. We have received an initial set of drawings back based on discussions we have had. We continue to work with the architect to refine the layout as we are working to maximize the use of all spaces. If you would like, I would be happy to talk with you and anyone else on the Video Production Commission. It would also help us in planning and creating the space and knowing all the wants, needs you may have." So he'd like to know, I don't know how many offices. Lily, do you have any idea how many offices there want? I mean, I know they want to put Brian in there.
I have not heard anything about the plans they have for
And
that
then,
space.
and then that space is gonna be where, well, it's gonna be entry through there. That's where the control booth, if you wanna call it that, for the, village board, traffic and safety, planning and zoning is going to go.
So Brian Roche's office would go in there?
What's that?
Brian Sawyer.
Brian Sawyer, yeah. And I don't know who else, but I think and I did pass along that we thought, and I told, Al was the one who constructed it, that we don't need the sound booth. It's just taking up space. So.
I mean, we just probably need a corner to like shoot videos. If
What's
we want, so we probably just need a corner to shoot videos. If we want to shoot like an interview in there, and then like just have an area for editing if somebody wants to come in and edit.
Right, exactly.
Yeah,
Yeah,
big desk for editing.
Yeah, that's
yeah, just a simple desk, and maybe enough space to do an interview.
yeah, that's it.
Yes.
Yeah,
That's it.
okay.
I don't think we need anything fancy. Probably should fix whatever's leaking up there though. That'll look good. That looks new too, because I can still see the streaks of water on the wall.
Can you really?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay, that's not good.
Yeah. So before we put any equipment in there.
So if you have any, I'm just gonna tell them we need need enough space to
Yeah.
a desk and to enough space for
Yeah.
an interview. Like a.
Honestly, if it was even just like that corner where the booth is now, like I think that would probably be enough space.
Yeah. So, So I did, the other thing I put on the agenda was that a discussion of the proposed ordinance to eliminate the Video Production Commission. And really, there's no replacement for us. It's just, that's it, we're done.
Sure.
So, just to let you know, I did send an email to President Patrick. I said, I know you have, can you join us in person? Could you join us by conference call? Could you join us by, a Zoom? And I didn't get a response.
Oh, we just saw him. He was in the parking lot 5
What's
minutes
that?
ago. So he was in the parking lot here 5 minutes before we walked in.
I can't hear you.
So he was in the parking lot here 5 minutes before we walked in.
He was here?
Yeah. He was talking
Patrick.
to Al.
He was walking out.
Yeah.
Kevin Patrick was walking out.
I'm pretty sure that's who it was. I mean, I've only met him like once, but like
Really?
I'm pretty sure that's who Al was talking to as we were walking in.
Really?
Yeah.
That's weird. Okay.
I don't
Well,
know.
yeah,
Unless I'm crazy, maybe it was somebody else. But
so be it,
It's
yeah.
So when did you send the email?
When did I send the email? I sent it Monday.
So maybe okay, so Kevin's president now instead of being a trustee, so
Right, so
he
what I wanted to
doesn't
get
have
was his, why he wanted to disband the commission,
well, maybe we ask him why, or maybe we ask him, is there another trustee that could, because now he's president, is there another trustee that could sit on our commission? And at the last village board meeting, I actually spoke in favor of what he wanted to do, not necessarily to eliminate this commission, but I think all the commissions need to be restructured with more of a results-oriented focus. I think that's useful. So I think the right approach may be to approach President Patrick or the board. Is there a way we can keep this commission and expand the scope, in terms of
right?
maybe not just video, but also maybe communications, because you're in your position, Riley's position is a communications liaison, not necessarily anything. I mean, video's in that bucket, but it's a wider focus. And then now, times have changed, right? We don't rely on cable television as much anymore. It's
Right.
everything's more digital. There's the World Wide Web.
yeah, I mean, I think there's needs to be like some clear goals and structure and like some direction in terms of like if it's coming just from like we talked about all these events and stuff. Like even just outlining the events that are coming up that we want covered or we want communicate, like
Right.
then it's just like okay, easy. We have this event coming up. Who's got the time to go do it? What are we looking to do?
That's exactly what I think we should do.
Yeah,
Yeah, so.
Because I'm tired of just
Go ahead.
having. I'm just tired of just having meetings.
No, I know that. I completely agree with you.
And
We
that's-
need to produce something.
Yeah,
yeah,
and that's the main reason. I left Parks and Rec Commission is because I just felt like there wasn't that results oriented or that task oriented focus where we
Right.
want to produce something and do something. So I think if we as a group want to continue as a commission, I think that's possible. We just petition the board and say, hey, we want to stay on as a commission, but we want to change our focus. Number one, we want it to be more results oriented, and number two, we want to expand our scope not to only include videos, but also to include other methods of communication.
sure.
Yeah, one thing, I serve on the Environmental Concerns Commission, and one of the commissioners brought up the idea of SMART goals. And we did the little SMART goal exercise, I can't remember what, it's an acronym. It's specific,
Measurable,
measurable,
attainable,
attainable, realistic,
uh,
and time sensitive.
yeah, time sensitive.
Yeah. So,
So yeah, I think that's an excellent idea. I mean, that's my goals at work are SMART goals.
They're
And
what?
if my goals at work are SMART goals. So when I do my performance review at work, that they're SMART goals. They have to be attainable within the year. I don't know if you have the same goals.
I have strategic plan, like just points I have to hit, but like they're all like, 1 year, 2 year, 3 year, 4 year, 5 year goals that all I have to hit and I report on. Which, it's easy when you have a list. I'm like, all right, I need to do this, I need to do this, I need to do this. Like, that's how you're going to do it. Like, I feel like right now we're just kind of like, everything's in limbo. Nobody's quite sure, like, what we should do, what we shouldn't do. Like, and part of that too is, what's been going on with the rules. Like, what set of rules are we operating under? Like, what's the approval process for that type of stuff?
Yeah,
Like,
I think so it would go to
Yeah.
Riley and now Lily,
Yeah.
and Lily would then send it to, I assume that manager Rivas would look at it.
Right. But even if it's just like, these are events like that, Lily and Riley have outlined, like, oh, we would love to get this, or if we could suggest that and then we get approval for that, then it's like, all right, then we can go film it, submit that. Like, just a clear outset of this is the process. And like, these are the events coming up. This is this is what we want to cover, basically.
Yeah, I think we are heading to that way. So I think
Yeah.
before that, the commission was not functioning like when I joined, right? So more people like you were coming in and we're setting up our goals. It's like, I think I can foresee that this commission will be valuable for the Villa Park because there's a lot of things that the Villa Park itself does not cover.
Right.
A lot of events, a lot of historical events, like what Alistair shares. So we could like focus on those things,
Yeah.
right, and propose to the chairman or whatever, and then we can go from there.
Sure. Like, even if we just had a backbone of like village events, like these are like the ones, these are high priority for us to
Right.
cover. These are like great if we can get to, but not not a huge thing. And these are like
Right.
the third tier. And then from then we could fill in with like the creative ideas that we have from there.
Yeah, I really like your idea with covering the Windy City Curling event.
Yeah. I'd still love to do that too.
I'll happy to help with anything
Well, and we'll have a lot of equipment there that we're going to use to broadcast actual games that I can pull clips from, like the matches. We're actually going through a full revamp of all of our video equipment because we're doing we live stream everything. So we're doing a whole new computer setup so we can live stream to YouTube and then in-house all of our monitors and stuff like that. So we're going through a whole tech thing and video, renewal over there. So and this event's huge, sold out.
so you've done events, you've done
Yeah.
live streaming for Windy City Curling.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, we're just updating our setup right now. We're running new cabling. It was kind of a mess how they did it before, but we're fixing all that stuff. But yeah, so we'd be able to pull clips from there. I could splice some stuff together, do some interviews with the president of the club. They can talk about interview different people from different areas. I think we've got people from all over the country that are attending. They actually aren't allowing any Windy City teams unless they're majority from not Windy City.
What's that?
So, like, the way this thing is so popular, it sold out so quickly that anybody who's from Windy City is basically on a wait list. So it's people are traveling.
Oh, really?
Come. Yeah. So it'd be really interesting to talk to.
So there's other curling clubs that are coming in.
Oh yeah, tons. This is probably our most popular curling event. Is this food truck?
And how many?
Huntsville.
I'm going to call them. Do you call them lanes?
They're sheets.
Huh?
Sheets.
Yep. 6 sheets or
There's three.
three
Three
sheets.
sheets.
Okay.
Yeah. So there's 3 sheets. I forgot how many teams are
And how many?
supposed to go.
How long does the game typically last?
2.5 hours, 3 hours ish.
How long?
2.5, 3 hours.
Wow.
8 ends.
I've just seen it on TV. I haven't been there and watched it.
Yeah,
What's that?
I've just seen it on TV. I haven't
Oh, yeah.
been there and watched it.
yeah.
Well,
But
I think in terms of, sorry, I'm just trying to like rein it back in because I've been thinking about it. I think in terms of like next steps for us or for you guys, I can get you guys a list of the events we have upcoming because I have to be at all of them anyway.
That would be perfect.
But then in terms of like, I don't know if you guys want to draft up like an appeal or what the process is or just like a game plan of like, hey, here's the structure that we're proposing and here's what we have coming next. And then I don't know if you can get on an agenda
Yeah.
for like probably not this board meeting coming up on Monday, but maybe the next one to see maybe kind of propose it because I feel like if we don't get that in there,
Sure.
I mean, I don't know how it's going to go with.
So do you know what's the update regarding like eliminating all the commissions? Like they just halted for now, right?
I'm sorry. Say it again.
So what's the current status of the
Well, there's
like deleting, like eliminating all the
it's a
commissions?
Cal meeting Monday.
So
right?
yeah, so it's my understanding, they haven't even had a first reading yet. So it has to be, typically there's two readings. You can waive the second reading, but I don't think they're gonna waive a second reading.
So I think I mean, what Tom suggested, I think we should talk to them and see like what's their thought, right? Whether really they're gonna keep the commission or not. Whether they will allow us to restructure it, right, or keep it. Like if they say no, yes, I mean, you can't have the commission, but you have to like fix your goals or restructure it. We can go from there, right?
Well, I think, yeah, I think I agree. I think that the first thing is we need,
And I'm just
What-
remind you, since we're recording this, if everyone could just say, commissioner, so forth,
Oh,
just so we know who's talking.
okay. Commissioner King, so I think the first step is like what you said, is we get the list of events, and then we review the list of events and figure out a game plan,
yeah.
who is available to record and when. I mean, I'm not the best at editing, and I don't really, I edit as little as possible, because if the video's there, the content's there,
Right.
it's not gonna be, MGM quality
Sure.
from a Villa Park Commission. So I think if we do that, we get the list, and we decide, like what events we wanna cover.
Yeah.
And then we approach the board and say, the thought was on eliminating the Video Production Commission, maybe we restructure it to Communications Commission, so that it covers, the website and other means of communication, perhaps social media. And then we say, we met as a group, these are the events we want to cover, and we want deliverable content to
Right.
the website, to YouTube.
Right. And if we can just show them a schedule that says like these are the events and these are the types of media we're hoping to get out of these events, like a Facebook post, an Instagram reel, a YouTube video, then we can at least show like this is the actual thing we're working
Yeah.
towards.
This
So
is great.
the-
So go ahead.
So the COW meeting is on Monday. I mean, do we want one of us to show up to that and say, hey, look, we want to, the Video Production Commission is slated to be eliminated on this proposal.
It's proposed to be eliminated, yeah.
And do we want to, this is what we want to do. We want to start covering more events and publishing media content, and then perhaps expanding our scope to the other communication that's available.
So
now.
when is the coffee with the board meeting?
Coffee at the Board is this Saturday
This Saturday.
at 9:00. So if we're able to go to Coffee with the Board, I would,
Yeah.
welcome you, and I would encourage you to do that. This is Commissioner Wagner. So my problem is not with re-envisioning what commissions look like. It's the whole process that there was nobody, they didn't talk to us.
Right.
They didn't talk to the other commissions. I mean, that was a big threat. That's why 35 people showed up.
Well, it was first reading too. It wasn't.
What's that?
It was first reading too. It wasn't the second reading, which is the
Well,
actual vote.
I will draw your attention to the agenda, which had the new appointees on the agenda. So I think there was an assumption that it was going to be approved, and they were going to approve the new people that were chosen to be on the commissions.
Yeah, why
I
bother
don't-
even appointing new people if you're not thinking they're gonna go through?
Yeah,
Right?
I think that was the thinking, that it was going to go through.
Either way, it doesn't
Yeah,
look
either
good.
way, that's water under the bridge, it's not going through.
Yeah.
But, my point, and I sent another email to President Patrick saying, we have new people. I didn't say we've spent money, but we have spent money, in
Yeah.
our budget. We're taking tiny baby steps to becoming a functioning commission. I know it's taken a long time. But just to pull the rug out from underneath us is not necessarily fair,
Right.
But I agree with Commissioner King. I think every commission should have a liaison. I think there should be a performance evaluation, whether it be SMART goals or, why not have, you can rewrite an ordinance to say this is what we want the commission to do, rather than say, we're gonna get rid of this commission and we're gonna start with a whole new group of people who maybe haven't done
Sure.
anything, done this before.
I maintain the position that I
Let's
stated.
say again.
I maintain the position that I stated earlier. It was a first reading, and there wasn't an intent to vote on it.
Okay, yeah, well, I mean, we don't know what's in someone's head. All I know was what was on the agenda, and the agenda had it, and it had all the new commissioners on the agenda to be approved.
I think this is a Commissioner Reef. I mean, I agree with Commissioner Chairman Bob Wagner. Like, if they're planning to eliminate a current commission, they should contact them first and let them at least know like what's going on and what's the reason that they're eliminating them, right? Rather than just putting into an agenda and appoint new commissioners.
Sure, or if they're unhappy in general
Yeah.
with the production of any of the commissions. I think coming to a meeting and being like, I mean, nobody's gonna, usually if you're gonna get fired, you go on a performance review, you get some goals to hit.
Right.
You either hit those goals or you don't hit those goals. They can you. Sure. That wasn't a process here. I understand that's not necessary, but it's at least, I mean, some sort of sign of respect for the people who have volunteered, I think. I mean, like, you could be unhappy with the people, the production, I think, and I think that's perfectly fair on their end, but to not communicate any of that prior, like, to be, like, I have been on this commission now since my first meeting was, what, January-ish? I've never seen a liaison from,
Yeah, and I'm not trying to spotlight anybody, but, and I understand people have family obligations, but you can, there was an opportunity to communicate with us by email. I mean, I got an email response when I said it. I'm thinking, what didn't I get an email before? So, so I'm not trying to dwell on that. I just think, I think we could become something, and there's a place for us, and so,
sure.
yeah.
I mean, regardless, I mean, we could still create video and content
Right.
without the commission. Al alluded to that with what he's doing. I mean, he's just basically going
Right.
and doing that.
But I like what
It's
Commissioner
He
King
just
said,
opened
that
his own company.
to include communications, and I think maybe we should say, we think there should be, maybe each commission should, produce a budget, but they should also have goals that go with the budget.
Yeah,
Smart goals, and
some form of structure.
and maybe have a time where you give a report before
Yeah, I think
the
we are moving to that, right?
Yeah.
So right now, we
village board. We
training.
should report to the village board what we're
Right.
doing.
But this is also, that's one of those reasons why having a village board liaison would be excellent, in that we could come
Right.
to them with these things. Because I think we've kind of walked around this for a few meetings now. But if we could just be like, what is the process that you're envisioning looks like that you would want us to come to you with? It's as simple as that. Like, we just don't have that. Other than trying to send emails, right? And then maybe getting an answer, maybe not getting an answer. Having to go through the village. I think we had to go through the lawyer for a couple things, right? With getting the approval and whether we could even film. When that originally came up for
Oh
what
yeah,
Al
when we
ended
went
up-
to the candidates forum, and they said no.
and they said no.
Yeah.
So then it's like, all right, now we're just sitting on our hands because like we've asked, we're told no.
And that request came in really late.
It did.
Yeah, I mean, the request from the Villa Park Women's Club came in late,
I just think communication in general has been
So
poor.
this is Commissioner King. So I hear all the concerns, but I think we need to look to the future. What do we do going forward? It looks like there's interest in keeping this commission functioning.
Yes.
Sure.
So what is our plan going forward? Do we want a representative from this commission to speak at the COW meeting? Do we want to go to a representative from this commission to go to coffee with the board? Do we want, we've already,
I'm open
I
to
assume we have the request to get the programming from you at the next meeting, and then I suggest our next meeting, once we get that list of the programming, we review it and decide what we want to film, what we don't.
Yeah.
And
Just
who's doing what?
workout schedules.
Yeah, right, yeah.
And I
So-
can even like, doesn't have to wait till the next meeting. I can email you guys that list like tomorrow if
That
you
is
want. So you
perfect.
can start working on something to like, if you're gonna go to the Cal meeting, like have something to
Yeah.
present when you go.
Yeah, no, that would be perfect. And I'm sorry, Commissioner Davis, I'm perfectly okay with going there and being a representative. That's fine. I'm available at that time. And
When
I
is
can
that?
speak to this. It's this upcoming Monday.
Monday at 7:00.
Yeah.
Oh, no, the COW is at 6:00.
6 o'clock?
Yeah.
6 o'clock.
I'll be there.
Okay, I'd like to make a motion that Commissioner Davis go to the Cal meeting and voice his opinion on behalf of this commission that we should keep, number one, we should restructure this commission as a communications commission. Number two, that we have the SMART goals based on the programming that you're at. And then number three, we want, a closer relationship with the village in terms of reporting out what this commission does.
And maybe obligate us to give an annual report
Yeah,
to
Yes.
what the commission's doing.
just structure. Like when it comes
Yeah.
down to it, is just structure and communication. That's all we need.
Yeah.
Okay, so I made the motion.
You made a motion, okay, is there a second?
I'll second it.
Okay, Commissioner Reeve, is there any further discussion? Okay, seeing none, all those in favor signify by saying aye.
So,
Aye.
so that what we're voting on is, sorry,
Your recommendation,
so
yeah,
my
go ahead.
recommendation, number one, Commissioner Davis goes to the Cal to voice his concern of keeping the commission alive. Number one would be expanding the scope to communications. Number two, that we review the list of upcoming events and and assign resources accordingly to film and produce deliverable video content on those events. And then number three, we report out at the end of the year of what this commission has accomplished.
And I think we talked about SMART goals too,
SMART goals,
Yeah,
which would,
report.
number three would be SMART goals.
SMART goals, okay. And I think it's important, Commissioner Wagner, to mention that we have new commissioners, that we've gotten, when we got 3 new commissioners, we have Commissioner Reeve, Commissioner Davis, Commissioner Ghazi. I mean, it's not that there's not interest in the village, so,
And also, there's not that there's no scope, right? There are a scope that we can do, and we can like create contents that would be useful for the village.
right, and I'm glad that you volunteered, because I don't wanna be the messenger. I mean,
Yeah.
I already gave my message.
Yeah.
Yeah, I already
I'm
gave
a
my
first
message, but
phase.
I think it's
I
I'll
good.
be there, I mean.
I haven't
I'll
spoken
try to
to
do the
anybody.
meeting too, I'll try to be there as well.
Okay, so we got
Yeah,
a
so
motion
the
before.
motion that we've articulated the motion, and you got all that, right?
I got it.
Okay,
It's in my notes
all
right,
right,
now.
if there's no further discussion, all those in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Aye. Any opposed? Okay,
I also will try to be at the Cal meeting to support you, and
I appreciate it.
Yeah.
I might actually speak, but I won't speak on behalf of the commission. I will speak as a resident of Villa Park.
Sure.
So,
It's cool.
but you will speak on behalf of the commission.
Got it.
perfect, wonderful. Okay, I'm gonna move on to item 6, public comments on non-agenda items. There are no members of the public here, except for Lily. Commissioner comments, Commissioner King.
Yeah, so I don't have any further comments outside of the fact that, Lily, it'd be great to get a little bit of background on you, like what your background is and so forth. So
Oh, yeah.
welcome to the commission,
Thank you.
and I hope that you enjoy being on the commission with all of us. So.
Yeah, great to be here. Great to be here. A little bit of background on me. I just graduated with my bachelor's in communication from Elmhurst University. I'm working here until September, as far as I know, as the communications intern, while Riley Pillar, the communications specialist, is out on maternity leave. And I live in Villa Park. I'm right down the road, so that's me.
Did you go
Great to meet
Willowbrook?
Yeah, I did.
Oh,
Okay, Commissioner Reeve.
Say again?
What's that, Commissioner, we're just doing commissioner comments,
No comments.
okay? Commissioner Davis.
Well, my only comments are, it's been a pleasure working with you in the short time I've been here.
Yeah.
If this doesn't continue, I hope it does. I hope we do start producing content. I really do hope we kind of get the ball rolling here.
Yeah.
And if we don't work together on this commission together, I hope to see you around and work together in other avenues. So I'll still be active. I hope you all will be too.
Okay. I just want to, Commissioner Wagner, I think I mentioned that I thought a short program on the Crocus site, which is on the library. And I did talk to the library director, and she said, not this month, but in August, she would definitely like to do it.
Okay.
And she'd like to do an interview with Public Works Director Mike Guerra. And I think it's very timely, given the issue that happened in Kerr, Texas,
Yeah.
where there was not warning about, the flash floods, because that Crocus site yields a lot of weather data and wind speed. I mean, it's very sophisticated, and they're just getting their partner portal up to date, and the village is getting a lot of information from that weather, from that Crocus. So I think it would be great to do a short program. I'm really even more committed to doing that because the Public Works finds it's valuable because it gives them a lot of detailed weather information.
Yeah.
Wind, rain, etc. So, we have been, the village was, this is a number of years ago, we've been hit by 2 derechos, and the northern part of town was hit by 1.
Yeah.
So,
I lived in Lombard. The tornado came through.
Yeah,
Like 2 or 6 houses down.
what's that?
So when I lived in Lombard, the tornado came through 6 houses down when we had that really bad derecho that came through.
Yeah. Yeah, we had a lot of power lines down on the north end of town.
Yeah,
North
there's a
end of
lot
town.
of trees.
Yeah.
And I would love, if someone would like to, I mean, my skills are lacking, but I'd love to do a short interview with the Nashes over at Prairie Food Co-op.
Yeah, that'd be great.
I think that would be it would be good for them.
Yeah.
And over a quarter of their owners are from Villa Park.
Yeah.
So they're in our backyard, so to speak.
I mean, I think this is like a great, right there we have 3 events plus whatever you send over. So I think what we should do is following this meeting, I don't mind setting this up. I did it for the garden club too, is set up a Excel sheet with
Yes.
events. And then we can put the dates that we're hoping to film them on. And then if you're available, just put your name next to it. And we'll go from there. I mean, honestly, I think at this point, that's got to be the first step. So.
And I know that it wouldn't be like you wouldn't be able to turn it around quick enough for Monday, but maybe even like getting one of those, like the Prairie Co-op one, like done and like ready to go, is having something to present to them is like, this is what we have, this is what we can do going forward would be
Yeah.
good. Like sooner rather than later.
Yeah.
Not to like put a rush order on it, but
I mean,
who knows how much time
Yeah,
there's
just
left.
say that we have like.
Yeah, we
Have
could,
these
we
programs.
could walk through the Prairie Food Co-op
yeah.
and do a short interview with them and say, hey, here's a new food, here's a new alternative for buying food,
Right. I mean, we could tell
locally grown, sustainable food. I mean, they had the bakery that they're getting, the people from the bakery that are supplying them were there giving out free samples.
Yeah.
So it was pretty cool.
I mean, we could tell the story. I mean, I know that thing's been a long time in the making.
Long time coming.
Because when I first moved to Villa Park, I feel like before I moved back, they were talking about it back then.
Right.
It's been, I feel like, almost a decade.
Yeah. Where is it?
It's next to Ace Hardware.
Eastgate
St.
Shopping
Pius.
Center. It's very, because I went to the Prairie Food Club, and then I went to the Secretary of State's office to renew my license, my sticker,
Yeah.
and that was like a snap. I mean, oh my God, I walk in there and
So that's the Lombard eggs, right?
Yeah.
it's in Lombard, right?
Correct.
But as I said, over a quarter of their members or owners
Yeah.
are from Villa Park.
Yeah, you just drive around, you'll see the signs of people's
Yeah.
lawns and everything.
Community
Exactly.
grocery.
I haven't been to the new Secretary of State's office. Is that?
What's that?
I haven't been to the new driver's license facility. Is that?
It's very nice. It's
Oh,
very-
I was
very
in
clean.
and out of my renewal last
And they have a
year.
drive up too.
It
The
was
drive up
crazy.
is great.
Wow.
It's like 5 minutes. I was like, this is unreal.
Yeah, I mean, I was in and out of it like that. It was unbelievable. Yeah. So-
Another idea that popped in my head is maybe we could do a segment on fireworks safety
Oh,
I mean,
yeah.
there was a couple incidents that occurred over the 4th, one across from Madison Meadow, the garage and the house in Lombard, it's all burnt.
Oh, really?
And then, I think there was another incident on Ardmore and Monroe, was it? I don't know.
I know there was one here, but they said they still don't know what caused the fire. I mean, it's weird that there were 2 fires on 4th of July. Like, I mean, right next to each other. But like, no, that would be a good one. I was thinking one on e-bikes too, because I know that's a hot topic right
Yes.
now.
Yes.
Yeah, oh yeah, and e-scooters.
And we could even team up. Isn't there like a safety commission or something like that? Or
There's a traffic and safety commission,
That
yes.
No, the
Yeah.
bike and safety.
And there's a
one.
bike, pedestrian and transit subcommittee.
Perfect. So there we go. There's another video. We've got like 6 videos. And
We could, there's a lot of stuff we could do.
Someone wrote that down.
Okay. Chairman's comments, village board liaison comments, village staff comments, any?
No, nothing for the good of the
Okay.
group.
Okay, in that case, I'll entertain a motion to adjourn.
A second.
Okay. You nodded your head, so,
Sorry, no, I
Oh,
second
did-
as well. I don't know how that works.
did you make the motion or?
You make the motion, right?
No, I can't, I don't make the
I'll
motion.
motion. I'll
Okay.
motion to adjourn.
I'll second.
Okay, all those in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Okay, we are adjourned at 7:15, so just over an hour. And then you'll take the recording.
Yeah.
Okay, we gotta stop the recording.